Good morning to Anandal present here. Today we are going to see the second unit with the heading Robotic Process Automation. First of all, let us see a basic introduction about robotic process automation, which is abbreviated as RPA. RPA is a technology that allows organizations to automate repetitive and rule based tasks traditionally performed by humans. RPA uses software robots or bots to mimic human actions interacting with digital systems. These bots can perform a wide range of tasks such as data entry, transaction processing, and responding to simple customer service queries. So, in our day to day life, wherever we wish to apply any work very technically and very simply, if we wish to do any work as soon as possible without any difficult means, in those cases we can apply this RPA. So RPA takes a major role almost in all areas nowadays. Then let us see the key concepts of RPA. There are a few number of key concepts of RPA. Among them, the first one is automation. The core idea of robotic process automation is to automate repetitive tasks to improve efficiency and reduce human error. Because on doing our fast calculation with a large volume of data, it is not possible to do any such calculations manually. So, in that case, instead of doing the manual computation, we can use the application of RPA. So, in such cases, we use the concept, namely automation. In order to apply that concept, we used to use the specific tools or softwares available in RPA, and they are known as the bots. So, bots means software or tools applications that carry out automated tasks. Whichever task we wish to do automatically, those can be done successfully with the help of such softwares, and those softwares or tools are known as the bots. The next key concept of RPA is rule based. RPA is best suited for tasks that follow clear and predefined rules. On applying such softwares or tools, we have to use them properly so that we can enjoy the applications of RPA 100% successfully. For example, suppose we are using any ClickUp Brainly or ChatGPT tool for deriving any problem. There we need to mention about the role of that tool. At present, what we wish to get from that tool or software, that should be given clearly to the software. So, such types of prompts should be given very clearly. Therefore, in that case, we have to follow some rules. That's why we are given even the rule based concept as also one of the key concepts of RPA. Now, let us see uh, a few real life examples where we can see the applications of RPA: data entry and processing. Imagine a scenario where a mathematics department needs to process a large volume of student data, such as providing grades, taking attendance, and assignment submissions. Traditionally, this would require manual data entry, which is time consuming and prone to errors. With RPA, bots can be programmed to automatically extract data from various sources, example, spreadsheets, databases, and input it into the educational system accurately and efficiently. Nowadays, even in our college for admission duty process, we use such RPA in order to collect the data of students who are all going to apply for joining PG Mathematics in our college can apply through online, and their data obtained through the online platform will be segregated very clearly with the help of robotic process automation. There we can apply some programming, and those programming methods will help us to segregate the variety of people. That means at the time on the same day all major students will be applying for admission for joining PG in our college. Means who have applied for mathematics can be grouped separately, who have applied for chemistry, who have applied for physics, like that they can be segregated separately with the help of RPA. Even in our college, we are using such techniques. The next real life example can be automated report generation. In a research setting, mathematicians often need to generate reports that compile data from various experiments or studies. For example, if we are working on statistical analysis, an RPA bot can be programmed to gather data from different sources, perform the necessary calculations, and generate comprehensive reports. This is not only saves time but also ensures consistency and accuracy in the reports. For example, in the next semester you are all going to do any project work on any field. Suppose any one of you going to select a project on prediction of rainfall, you need to collect the existing and earlier data so that you can predict the next month data or next year data. Suppose we wish to do the prediction of rainfall in the month of January. Means you need to collect the existing data. That means from today onwards you have to collect the rainfall data. Suppose we wish to do such a project in our Salem city. Means from today onwards you need to collect those data. Whatever data you get from the web sources, those data to be saved in an Excel file. On one day when you wish to wind up all this data, when we wish to use all this data in order to do our prediction of rainfall for the month of January, as a first step, you will be in the position of taking average for all the data. The rainfall data will be varying on every day. So, taking average for more than 2 months data, manual computation will not be suggestible. So in that case we can use RPA. With the aid of RPA we can do it 100% forcefully and successfully. So when we use large volume of data, we can apply this automated report generation with the help of RPA. Coming to the sector banking and financial services, it is always necessary to identify the fraud detection and customer onboarding. So, for fraud detection, RPA can automatically flag suspicious transactions and it will give alert for further investigation. Whenever during online transaction, if there is a source for which is identified as a suspicious source, means immediately that RPA will help us, that will give alert to us, and there is a suspicious source try to steal some amount in the respective website. Like that it will provide a proper alert to us, and also that RPA will help us to do more effective transaction, and also it will help us for further investigations. And this is the sector known as cyber security particularly. Next one is for customer onboarding. So RPA will automatically process the details of collection and verification of customer documents, and also it will help us to speed up the account opening process very soon. Coming to the healthcare department, for appointment scheduling, RPA takes a very major role because here RPA can handle appointment bookings, cancellations, and reminders, reducing the administrative burden on staff. Even in the last week, we came to know about the Microsoft problem. Because of that Microsoft problem, whole world have stunned. Even in many of the places, even the airport was not working. Hospitals were not working for booking the proper informations of customers. So those things can be done effectively only with the help of RPA. So if the software is in proper condition, RPA can do its major role effectively. That is one of the examples for this appointment scheduling and other things. Next, for claims processing, RPA will help to process the insurance claims in order to reduce errors and to minimize the processing time. On retail, RPA helps for inventory management and for order processing. In inventory management, RPA can track inventory levels, reorder stock, and update inventory records in real time. Also, in order processing, RPA will automate order entry, invoicing, and shipment tracking to enhance order fulfillment efficiency. Even we would have experienced that during our online shopping. During our online shopping, soon after booking one object, immediately we are able to get the confirmation messages. That message was sent by RPA. Automatically, we have received the message not from the concerned owner or from somebody that was set already in the program with the aid of RPA. That's why we are able to get confirmation message soon after booking one object, ordering one object, like that. Then in human resources, RPA is used for recruitment and for payroll processing. In recruitment, RPA can automate the screening of resumes, scheduling interviews, and sending out offer letters. Also, for payroll processing, for handling payroll calculations, tax withholdings, and generating pay slips without manual intervention. These things can be done 100% effectively with the help of RPA. Also, the applications and real life uses of RPA continuously it will go on. These examples are only a sample collection. Students, you can also collect such examples by yourself. You just have a glance on those real examples, and later you can collect your own experienced real life examples, or you could see somewhere the applications of RPA in your real life. Even you can mention them as the real life examples of RPA. Coming to the utilities, see, nowadays the taking current bill system has been changed entirely with the help of RPA. Because of that RPA automating the collection and processing of meter readings to generate accurate utility bills. Also, it is used for customer service, for managing customer queries and service requests through automated responses and ticketing systems. Even some of our faculty, including myself, are studying the course Machine Learning and Artificial Intelligence offered by IIT. In that course, if you have doubt, just we will be asked to book one support ticket. How many students will be there, that we don't know, but at the same time even more than 100 students will be raising their queries using that support ticket, and that ticket will tell the timings during which time we are able to get clarified our doubt. So these process have been done and will be done successfully only with the help of RPA. Then telecommunications, that's a very known, very well-known department where we need especially the great deal of RPA. So for network monitoring, automating the monitoring and reporting of network performance issues and outages. Only after the existence of RPA, we are able to get the airport services and scanning process. Those things have been done effectively only after the help of RPA. Even service provisioning for streamlining the activation and deactivation of customer services and managing service changes, these process also can be done effectively only with the help of RPA. And in insurance department for policy management and for claims adjustments also, RPA is majorly used for updating and for providing the proper informations. Hence, RPA is a powerful tool that can significantly enhance productivity and accuracy in various administrative and academic tasks. Understanding and leveraging RPA can open up new avenues for research efficiency and data management. Next, let us see the automation programming constructs. So, automation programming constructs are essential components in robotic process automation that allow for the criterion of bots and capable of performing complex tasks. Only the way how the program constructed in RPA should be known very well before using that RPA for our task. So, these constructs include loops, conditionals, variables, and functions, which are fundamental in any programming language. When integrated with machine learning, these constructs enable the automation of tasks that require decision making and data processing capabilities. Next, let us see why automation programming constructs are needed in RPA for exclusively machine learning. Because only with the help of RPA, we are able to do our work efficiently and accurate results can be obtained. So, efficiency and accuracy is the first target. Automation reduces the time and effort required to perform repetitive tasks, ensuring consistency and minimizing human errors. Scalability. With automation, tasks can be scaled up to handle large volumes of data, which is often required in machine learning applications. Next one is the integration. Programming constructs allow robotic process automation to interact seamlessly with machine learning models, enabling the automation of data pre-processing, model training, and prediction tasks. So, on doing the multi-criteria analysis, such prediction of task and modeling, also pre-processing, these things are very must essential activities which can be done only with the proper construction of automation. So these proper constructions can be done in inbuilt in the programming languages of such RPA. So now let us see the main programming constructs which will be used in robotic process automation. In robotic process automation, several key programming constructs are used to design and implement automated workflows. These constructs help in creating efficient, scalable, and maintainable automation solutions. Now, let us see the main programming constructs which are essential for the effective applications of RPA. Among them, the first one is the sequences. Sequences means they are the linear workflows where activities are executed one by one. They are used for simple process where the order of operations is straightforward and predefined. For example, reading an email, extracting an attachment, processing the attachment, and then sending a notification. So this process is an example for sequence. In robotic process automation, many of the works will be done sequentially. That means one by one work will be done, one by one task will be taken automatically by the robots. So in such cases, sequencing is one of the main constructive component for robotics. The next one is flowcharts. Of course, flowcharts provide a graphical representation of workflows, allowing for complex decision making and branching logic. In the earlier example of segregation of uh, major wise students, we can see the application of flowcharts. They are useful for process with multiple decision points and varied path. For example, automated customer support ticket creation. In that flowchart, always we can have the start button and end button. Between the starting button and end button, we can have the various tasks to be assigned, and those tasks will be segregated according to the varieties. And in this example, we can have these tasks. That means receiving customer email, extracting customer details, creating a support ticket in the system, then sending confirmation to the customer. So, on organizing any workshops or a seminar, the organizers need to think all these tasks in their mind. But it is not possible to give a reply to each and every candidate separately. Therefore, once the candidate have registered through online means, their details will be collected through email or through Google form. The details will be collected, and the proper response or reply to be given to the candidate who have applied to the workshop or seminar. So in that case, receiving and replying can be done effectively with the help of RPA. And for doing such process, in the inbuilt programming, this type of flowcharts to be done, to be carefully done, so that the those tasks, that means receiving and replying task, can be done properly. The next key constructive component is the loops. Loops are used to repeat a set of actions for multiple times. They can be fixed, that means with a set of number of iterations, or dynamic based on conditions or data. So in general, loops means the same action will be repeated for a number of times. Processing each row. Suppose we are having a collection of data in an Excel, and for doing or even for finding our average, each row data to be selected, to be taken on every time means on every time we find average for row 1, row 2, row 3 in means in those cases we will be using this type of concept, namely loops. Next one is the concept conditions, where we can apply if else statements. So the exact logical meaning will be given here also. Conditional statements that allow the workflow to make decisions based on specific criteria. They execute different actions depending on whether the condition is true or false. For example, if checks if the mail has an attachment and saves if it true. Suppose we wish to receive the mails with attachment. We are asking the students to send their particulars using an attachment. So in that case, we will be seeking their emails along with their attachments. Only if the mails having their attachments, those mails will be proper, and we need to collect the details of those mails only. At the same time, the mails without attachment are not proper means they should be they should be converted as an error mail. That means they should be considered as an error mail. Therefore, in that case, we will be using this type of if else statements. If means checks if the email has an attachment and saves if true. Else means otherwise logs a message if the email does not have an attachment. That means we will be recording the emails which don't have attachment as an error email. The next one is the switch statements. Switch statements are used to handle multiple potential values for a given variable. They are useful for scenarios where there are several possible conditions to evaluate. In an example, a switch statement can be used to handle different types of customer services requests. For example, we are getting some details of the customers and there we will be having three varieties as marked here. Suppose the customer's details having this word billing means the bot will segregate them and they will the mails with the billing will be forwarded to the billing department. The mails with subject having the word technical support will be forwarded to the IT support team. Also, the mails with the subject containing general enquiry will be forwarded to the customer service team. So, like that, depends on the cases. RPA will segregate the respective customers' mails to the respective sources. Next one is the variables and arguments. Variables store data that can be used and manipulated within the workflow. Arguments allow data to be passed between different parts of the workflow or between different workflows. For example, storing a customer's name in a variable and using it in multiple steps of the automation process. Even in the earlier example, that is prediction of rainfall, we can have variety of weather collection and depends on various variety, that means various ranges. The rainfall from 40 to 50 units or 51 to 60 units, 61 to 70 units will be named with various linguistic values. That means low, medium, high. The ranges can be named as low, medium, high, and the suppose we are naming the rainfall with the rate 40 to 50 as 41 to 50 as low medium. We are naming the rainfall rate from 51 to 60 as medium. Suppose we are naming the rainfall rate from 61 to 70 as high. So wherever we have the data 51 to 60 in all those places, those data will be named as high rainfall rate. So the same name will be passed to the entire system of the computation. In the entire system of computation, the same name will be passed to the entire process. So giving customers name or giving names to the ranges or giving the selecting the linguistic variables, in all those cases we will be using these concepts of variables and arguments. The next one is the exception handling. Exception handling constructs are used to manage errors and unexpected situations gracefully. They ensure that the workflow can recover from errors or handle them appropriately. Sometimes, on the collection of any data, for a few days or in few places, the data may be missed. On collecting the rainfall uh, report, on some days we may be missing the data. We may miss to collect those data. Even we miss the data, those errors can be rectified automatically by the RPA. That is the concept this concept is known as exception handling. So, capturing and logging an error when a file is not found and then proceeding to the next file in the list. Even there is a file missing in the collection, it is possible to go ahead with the process. That process is known as the exception handling. The next one is the triggers and events. Triggers and events allow workflows to start based on the specific conditions or actions, such as a new email arrival or a file being created in a folder. Sometimes, even in our mobile phone, we can have the notifications of getting new mail or new messages. So, in those cases, the alertness for getting new mails and new messages will be given automatically by the mobile in some places, in the places of notifications. In the notification symbol, we can have, suppose already we got 10 messages and a newly one more message we have received just now, means in the notification of messages collection, instead of 10 we could see the number 11. So in that way we will be triggered, we will be given alert by the automatic system. So we can also have the concept of triggers and events. Automatically starting a data processing workflow when a new file is uploaded to a designated folder. The next one is the invoke workflow. That means this construct allows one workflow to call and execute another workflow. It promotes modularity and reusability by breaking down complex processes into smaller, manageable, and workflows. Sometimes it is not possible to have the data collectively together. Instead, we can split them according to the requirements. So, that type of action is known as invoke workflow. In RPA, invoking a workflow refers to starting an automation script or process that handles repetitive tasks or data processing based on the predefined rules and steps in the workflow. For example, a main workflow invoking sub workflows for tasks like logging into an application, extracting data, and logging out. So far, we have learned something about robotic process. Now, I'm going to ask a few questions, few part A questions from the same topic. The students are asked to be alert and the students are asked to answer for the following questions. Robotic process automation can be defined as, here you are given four choices. The first one is the application of advanced robotic systems for industrial tasks, the use of software robots to automate repetitive tasks in business process, the deployment of physical robots in manufacturing lines, a type of artificial intelligence focused on human interaction. Hoping that you would have found the correct answer. And the correct answer is the use of software robots to automate repetitive tasks in business processes. The next question is a key component of RPA is, select the proper key component from these four choices. Physical robots working on assembly lines, software bots that mimic human actions, complex algorithms for predicting market trends, hardware accelerators for computing. Again, hoping that you would have found the correct answer. The answer is software bots that mimic human actions. The next question is the need for automation in business processes arises from what? The choices are the requirement for increased manual intervention, the goal to reduce operational cost and increase efficiency, the necessity to increase human workforce, the desire to complicate workflows. Once again, hoping that you would have found the correct answer. The answer is the goal to reduce operational cost and increase efficiency. The next question is robots in the context of RPA are physical machines operating in factories, software programs designed to perform specific tasks, humanoid robots interacting with customers, mechanical devices used in healthcare. Once again, you would have found the correct answer, and the correct answer is software programs designed to perform specific tasks. Finally, the RPA architecture typically includes only hardware components, a combination of software bots, orchestration platforms and development tools, physical robots and mechanical parts, human operators manually controlling processes. So you would have found the right answer, and the right answer is a combination of software bots, orchestration platforms, and development tools. Thank you all.